Hey choppers, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button to see all of our videos coming to you this year. And today, we have a preview for Legend of Novus. Let's hit it, bub. In Legend of Novus, you play one of 5 different adventurers that travel around the land of Novus, completing quests, upgrading your specialties, gaining experience points to try to impress the rulers of Novus and become the next legend. We're going to take a look at the character sheets for the game in a minute, but this is the game board. You place it in the middle of the table. You shuffle up the encounter deck, the adventure deck, and the reward deck and place them on the board, as well as placing any allies and the quest monsters close to the board, and also the class cards where you can upgrade your class. You got your pile of money tokens over here, your meeples that'll represent the different adventurers, little tokens, and your D10 dice. At the beginning of the game, the meeples will be placed in Vase City on the board, and then you'll start playing from there. Legends of Novus can be played one of 4 ways, either solo, competitive, co-op, or as teams. In competitive mode, the goal is to be the first player to gain 25 experience points. When you're playing solo mode, the goal is to defeat 3 of the quest creatures and complete 1 of the quest adventure cards in a specific amount of turns. In a team game, the first pair of players to earn a combined total of 50 XP and either defeat a quest creature or 1 of the quest adventure cards wins the game. While playing a co-op game, the goal is to work together to defeat all 8 of the quest creatures before the 25th turn ends. The game is split into 3 different phases: the preparation phase, the adventure phase, and the recovery phase. During the preparation phase, players can equip any number of rewards or items onto their character sheet or unequip them. They can play 1 event card from their hand or purchase 1 adventure or reward card for 25 gold pieces. Once they have paid that, they draw an adventure or reward card and place it into their hand. During the adventure phase, players will be able to either choose to travel or to explore, depending on what they did the turn before. Before we get to any more explanation, let's go ahead and check out the character sheets. The character sheet is set up really nicely. You can see here that there's 5 different character sheets. We've got the one for the Knight of Exire, Cain, open. His symbol, as you can see, is the axe up there, which is also represented on his meeple, which will be placed on the board in Vase City to start with. You'll also get a turn summary card, which shows all the steps of the phases, as well as the gold exchange for experience points and different XP combat modifiers you can use during the game. It's set up with a little description skill box right here and shows your base combat number right there, and a little combat tracker here so you can keep track of all the stuff whenever you add items, skills, equipment to add to your combat modifiers. It also has a spot for you to track your experience points here by the book symbol. So we'll go ahead and take one of the tokens here and place it on 3, which is what you start out with at the beginning of the game. And you also take a D10 dice to use for combat and whatnot. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that on his picture there. Now at the beginning of the game, each player draws 1 rewards card and 1 adventure card and puts it into their hand. Cards, when they're drawn, always go into your hand and then can be placed on your character sheet during the preparation phase or the recovery phase. So like so. We'll start out the game with these 2 cards. Light Helmet and a skill, Master of Tales, that tells us whenever we complete a quest event card or defeat a quest creature, we're going to earn 1 extra experience. The Light Helmet will give us 1 to our combat skill, or we can sell it for 15 gold during one of the phases. So let's say it's the beginning of the game. I got my cards. I'm going first. My token is in Vase City on the map. And I'll go ahead. I can equip any number of cards from my hand. I'll go ahead and put the light helmet, and it tells you where it goes on your sheet because you have spots for helmet, armor, footwear. You got your weapons, so you got your hand spots, and 4 different items, as well as your skills here. We'll go ahead and put that in the head spot right there, like so. So now that'll up my combat skill. I got a base of 3 plus 1, so my combat skill is 4, or combat value, if you will. I'll also place my skill card in one of my 3 available skill slots to use at a later date whenever I complete that quest adventure card or defeat a quest creature. During your turn, if you choose to travel, you will move your little token 1 or 2 dots away from your current location. You can't move away from the location and then back to it on the same turn. If you have any kind of travel bonus, you may move that many more dots when you travel. You'll go ahead and roll this travel die, which has different symbols on them, and depending on what comes up, you'll be able to do different things. Once you've completed your action on the die, depending on where you're at on the map, you'll take a look in the location guide, which has the names of the locations, it has what kind of region they're in, and different things like that. And then some locations have a location effect, which you'll go ahead and resolve, then move to step 3, the recovery phase. You can choose to explore during your adventure phase if you did not do so the turn beforehand. You stay in your current location and tip over your token to show that you are exploring that location. After that, you would draw the top card of the adventure deck and reveal it to all players so that everybody can see it. If it's anything other than an encounter, it goes into your hand. If it's an encounter card, like so, you would resolve it. Given this fact, you can see that it says when you resolve it during your adventure phase, you immediately complete a battle. That consists of drawing the top card from the encounter deck and having a battle. Any other card you draw goes into your hand, such as events, special events, skill cards, and quests that can be played and resolved at a later time. Once you have either completed a battle or acquired the adventure card, you consult the location guide again to see if it has any explore effects. If it does, you have to resolve that explore effect for that location. If it doesn't have an explore effect, you get to choose one of 2 options. You can either draw a card from the adventure deck or the reward deck, not revealed, and put it straight into your hand. Or if you have a battle encounter card in your hand, you can then play it and resolve a battle. This is one of the great ways to get experience points for your character. Then you proceed to the recovery phase. It should be noted that you cannot explore the same location 2 turns in a row. During your recovery phase, you can do a multitude of things before ending your turn. You can do each of these things in any order you want. You can equip any number of rewards cards, such as the light helmet, which will increase your combat skill, the dagger, that will also increase your combat skill and give you extra combat value if you're a thief. You can also sell any rewards cards for their gold piece value. You can see the dagger here is worth 5, but only if you're in a city location can you sell them. You can play 1 event from your hand and resolve it. You can trade in gold for experience points as per the conversion chart on the little info card that you'll have and with the turn summary. And if you're at 10 XP or higher, you may select an advanced card for your character class to help you, up your class abilities. Then, at the end of the turn, you must discard down to 5 cards in hand and pass turn to the player on your left. It should be noted that you cannot buy your last experience point. If you are trying to get to 25 experience to win and you have 24, it must be earned in another way other than buying experience points. Battling an encounter or creature is relatively simple. Everything is laid out on the card. The monster has its combat value and the amount of experience that you'll earn if you defeat it. You can see this is a ghoul. and it is a demon slash undead type. It tells you your victory conditions, which if you win, what you'll get. You'll draw 1 reward card and 1 adventure card to add to your hand. And also, what happens if you're defeated? You'll lose 3 XP. Now, you cannot drop below 0 experience points. Also, it has a special ability, which you'll check before combat. You see, it's got the Paralyze ability. You roll a d10. If you roll less than 6, you suffer -3 to your combat value this turn. And battle is relatively easy. You check the monster's combat value. You check your combat value on your character sheet. You add in any numbers from any equipment or skills that you are using. And then you roll the d10. And then you'll also roll a d10 for the creature you are encountering. Highest number wins. If you win, you get the rewards and the experience. If the creature wins, you'll suffer the defeat right there. Legend of Novus fills that RPG fantasy questing gap that you're looking for. It's really simple to play, so go ahead and check it out. It'll be on Kickstarter, and I guarantee you'll love it.